Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Okay, I'll ask again. Be ready this time. How is everyone doing? Very good. I am Diva Delicious. I am not the main event tonight. I'm just opening the show, and I wanted to first thank the Wall Comedy Club and the Performing Arts Festival for hosting this amazing show, Align by Liliana Velásquez. And I think you've heard as you walked in, but just to reiterate, this show is being live streamed, so we really need your energy. And we'd like to thank waveDOTS Studio, that's who's live streaming us. And woohoo, yes, thank you. Are you ready for the main event? Yes. Without further ado, please welcome to the stage for the Align Comedy Solo Hour, the fabulous, the amazing Liliana Velásquez!
Respire suavemente, tranquilamente. Concéntrese en mi voz. Mi voz le guiará su pensamiento para que penetre en su ser una poderosa
I'm going to teach you a few things and we're going to do it together because we have been suffering for too long in this rhythmicless city. I'm sorry, I have only been in Berlin for a few hours, but I can tell you lost your rhythm. I am international dancer and money guru. I am here to remind you that money comes from everywhere. Yes. I love money and money loves me. Are you with me? Do you believe it? I want you to say it with me. I love money and money loves me. One more time again. I don't see you moving your lips. Do you not love money? You do? Say it again. Again. Yes, everybody together. I love money and money loves me. Bravo. Bravo. So I know many of us have been suffering around the world for 2 years. It is unmentionable. And I want to remind you in this moment of your life that we are here to make money again, that there is abundance everywhere, that money comes from here. Money comes from here. Money comes from here. Money comes from here. Money comes from everywhere. All of you is bookable. All of you is money. You are the money. It's you. You are the money. That's right. You are the money. I can feel your money pointing at me. Please, this is a show. It has been a long time. Who here has money problems? Who's having money problems right now? Okay, ladies. I want you to remember right now, whenever you have a money problem, you're going to shake it. You're going to shake it out. You're going to take all those coins, and you're going to make noise with them, and you're going to bring more money. Yes? With a little rhythm, with a little pizzazz, with a little abundance overdraft. Think about it. Overdraft, everything. Money is invisible. I live on negative, but look at me, I'm fabulous. Nothing can stop me. Leopard print and money is all I care about. So excited. I see so many beautiful faces and very international. Berlin is international, yes. It's very much like Miami, where nobody speaks the local language. Yes. Where are we from? Where are we from? Ay, 305, 305. Oh my goodness, you are troublemakers. You are, yeah, Miami. We got a knife in our pocket and a big smile. What about over here? Where are we from? Berlin. Welches Krankenhaus bist du geboren? Oh, he's born here. Okay. And this front table, where are we from? Potsdam. I know you. Oh, famous person in the audience. How lovely. I'm so happy to have you here. What about that? Where are you from, Blondie? Berlin. Sweet. I love Berliners. They make me feel comfortable. They're a little bit, how you say, they don't give a fuck. You know, I noticed something in Berlin. Today is an important show, and I noticed that many of you did not make an effort to dress. Very Berlin, very Berlin. Everybody looks like they're doing laundry every day of their life. So cute, not cute. Not cute. I was told it was summer. What is happening? In fact, this is like hurricane weather in Miami. Or my mood swings, who knows? All right, in the back, the fabulous group in the back. Where are you from? Italy. Ay, you're so dangerous. I went to Italy, I had a finger in the butt. Anyone else? Portugal. I'm going to reserve my commentary. Over here, where are we from? 4 countries. Italy. Australia, Berlin combo. Kazakhstan. Ooh. Eso! She's practically from Miami. Well, I feel like the whole entire room is surrounded by beautiful people. I have to say, your song is one of my favorites. I am a big believer in repercussions, in reciprocity, money. The whole song is basically about give me money. It's my favorite. It should be my mantra. I want to be mama, but I don't want to have babies, so we figured it out. But I feel like we are ready. I want to do one last mantra with everybody. Yes, we do it one more time. The I love money, because we want to shake the energy in the universe and bring it to us. So one last time. And I love money, and money loves me. Yes! Bravo! Now I want you to welcome to the stage the star of the show, the one and only Liliana Velásquez.
A los queridos hijos de Colón.
Fabulous. I am so happy to be here. Thank you to my opening acts, the wonderful pin-up soprano Diva Delicious. Yes. And to one of the many, many characters that accompanies me along life, Chocha Liliana. She visited me for the first time during the pandemic when I was having money troubles. And also many other characters visited me. So luckily, I've selected only a few for today. One is me, the real me. But more importantly, what I learned with these characters was that you're never really alone if you listen to all the voices in your head. Yeah. Some people say that I care too much. Other people say I don't care enough. There are rumors and whispers that I am a woman that needs a lot of attention. I once had a man look at me and say, Liliana, can you be less more? Less more? I am all one. That's as much as I can be. I grew up Colombian American in a format that raised me as a female goddess hoo-ha representing bitch, otherwise known as a Colombian princess. Yes, when you grow up in a Colombian family, you are told you are a princess every day of your life. ¿Quién es una princesa? Tú eres una princesa. ¿Quién es la princesa más hermosa? You're gonna get everything you want in the world because you are a beautiful princess. And you hear that every day. And then you're 24 years old, you're living in New York City, and you meet Prince Charming. He shows up on a white horse. And you realize that is not what your parents had in mind. So you have to reprogram your own brain because you're like, wait a second, this princess shit is not working. This is not what they promised me. And so you have to constantly retell yourself what you really are or find out who you are. So now when I see children in strollers, I run up to those children and I'm like, who's a boss bitch? Who's a boss bitch? Who's a boss bitch? Yes, you are. You can say no as a complete sentence. No, no. The parents are like, why are you teaching them to say no? They need to go to bed. No. So we have to work on ourselves constantly to find out who we are and where we're going in life. And it's incredible. It's an incredible voyage that brings you to the most random places along the way. I'm now in Berlin for 9 years. That's right. You can't get rid of me. I am not going anywhere. 9 years. And I love it here. I love it here. But I did grow up being called many things. And one of the things that I never realized that I was called until I moved to Germany was exotic. Yeah. I've been called Puerto Rican in New York City. I've been called gringa in Colombia. But I had never been called exotic until I got here. And at first I was like, oh, exotic. And then I thought about it and I was like, if I'm exotic, that makes you. So I look at them. And the people that say this to me are not the they with your gender queer flag that's so beautiful. They that are fighting for equality. They that say this to me is the cis white male. They call me exotic. And to them I say, wow, what a keen observation. Colonizer. I was in role play one time, tied up with a German man, and out of nowhere he decided to call me Pocahontas. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut you. Exotic. I've been walking around Berlin. When I first got here, people would say, oh, wow, du bist Kolumbian. And I'm like, no, I'm Colombian. They're like, ja, ich habe das gesagt. I'm like, no, you did not say that. You said Columbia, and that's a university in the United States. I am from the country of Colombia, also in America. It's pronounced Colombia, and they're like, yeah, kein Problem. I'm like, no, we have a problem, because when I say a word in German and I mispronounce it, you correct me. Not only do you correct me, but you give me an example of a different word that has nothing to do with the conversation that sounds the same. Like Geschichte and Geschichte. I try my best to tell them apart, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm definitely just going to sit on both of them. So I tell them, I say, well, let's try this again. You know, it's Colombia. I come from Colombia. We have the same alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. That's in Español. A, B, C, D, E. That's Deutsch. So if my country's spelling is Colombia, why? If we have the same alphabet, are you changing it to Kolumbia? I have so many problems with this. My first thing that comes to mind is, what is the fascination with white people and the letter K? Second of all, I love your umlauts. I love them. They're the cutest thing I've ever seen in the world. Umlauts are like, oh my God, when I do Coke with people, I'm like, hey, you got a little umlaut right here. You got to clean up that umlaut. So why not just put 2 umlauts on my O and move it along? Colombia. And then one day when I was in a bathroom with a whole bunch of Germans, I realized that it's a choice. That you say Colombia by choice. Because let me tell you something. If you can say cocaine, you can say Colombia. No one has ever offered me cuckooine before. But when you do offer me some stuff and I look at it, my connoisseur nose is like, oh, that is mostly K. No, thank you. No, thank you. Berlin is my rehab. My mom hates it when I do jokes about Colombia and cocaine and drugs, and I understand why. But I'm always really shocked by her reaction. She's like, Lilianita, por Dios, you are giving our country a bad reputation. And I'm like, Mama, I might be a fashionista, but I did not invent the Colombian necktie. It stings so good, doesn't it? I am the firstborn of 5 children, classic traditional Colombian family. And my birth allowed my parents to have United States citizenship. Yes, I'm an anchor baby! Oh. When my mom gave birth to me in Weehawkins, Nueva Jersey, I came out of her pussy shouting, equal rights for all, no one is illegal. And Mom, why? We're so close to New York, really? You couldn't hold out a few more hours. It's right across the river. I could see it from your pussy. Please, why did you do this to me? Being the firstborn allowed me to see my parents when they were happy. No, they're still together. They're actually madly in love. It's sickening. But I was a very curious child. I was a very adventurous child. And I remember asking my mom when she was on her 3rd pregnancy. I was probably 11 or 12 at the time. I said, Mama, what is it like to be pregnant? And she said, ay, mijita. It's the most beautiful thing. It's like your body is a tiny little factory. And you are working all the time. Oh my gosh. That is the best birth control they could have ever given me. Like, how do you describe that? And I was like, yuck. With every child they had, I became more rebellious and more more curious. And my curiosity was more self-exploratory, if you know what I mean. These 2 fingers became like a security blanket for my clitoris. I would start. I feel safe and secure, and everything is okay in the world. So if you see me sleeping on a plane, please don't touch my hands. It's how I deal with anxiety. I'm like, I'm a little bit nervous. I used to explore things that I didn't know later on would be important. I used to tie myself up in my closet as a preteen with my Converse shoelaces. Yes. And I would wait for someone in my family to be like, where is Liliana? Liliana is missing. We have to find her. And I would spend hours in there just looking through the like the little, you know, those blinds that the closets have, like all by myself. But I didn't realize when I was young that when you're in a Colombian family, if you don't leave a ransom notice, nobody's going to look for you. So I have a few issues from playing this game. I have abandonment issues, but they're self-inflicted. I have Stockholm syndrome. I love hate me. And I got a head start on predicament bondage. Who would have known that was going to come in handy later? Foreshadowing is only good in the movies, right? Real life, you're like, what? Oh, yes. I come from a family that believes that you will become a complete woman when you have a child. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. My mom says to me constantly, or at least she used to. I'm 45 now. She stopped saying that. I know you're looking at me like, she's 45? It's all the cocaine and cum I put on my face every morning. It's an old family recipe handed down from Oma to Oma. Yes, yes. But where was I? Where was I before I went into that family recipe? Not having children. Yes, my mom always says, Liliana, one day you are going to be a complete woman. And I'm curious how she thinks that's going to happen because I'm missing my adenoids, my tonsils, my appendix, my left fallopian tube, and I have no idea where I left my virginity. It's difficult. It's difficult. The last time I went home to visit my family, my sister was on her deathbed. And I'm sorry, she was giving labor. It's the same thing. Her life is over. Devil's in the details, right? But I went to see her. I was a proud aunt. And so I walked into the hospital and I started taking pictures of the baby and her right away. And like a classic Latinas, because Latinas, we like to look good all the time. Like, you want to see how I go to the grocery store? Pretty much in this outfit. So I walk in, I start taking pictures, and my sister's like, put the fucking camera away, bitch, before I cut you. And I was like, whoa, you just had a baby. What's wrong? She's like, I need my makeup kit. So I handed her the makeup kit, man. She started contouring and plumping. And it took 3 days before I was able to take a picture. She's like, I'm ready. Hand me the baby. New baby smell, #MILF. And then she looked at me and she said, Liliana, I am so happy. And I was like, are you sure? You don't really look that happy. She said, yes, I'm so happy to be the first one. And I'm the firstborn, so that's immediately a problem. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, to give mom and dad a grandson and a granddaughter. And I was like, oh. And I started thinking about my life in my 20s, and I was like, whew. Everybody told me about plan A, but I couldn't do it. Abstinence is not my style. Plan B came out in my 30s. I took that like candy. And plan C was the one I always counted on. Cocaine, cocaine, cocaine. It was free for me because I have a pussy. So I looked at my sister and I said, Elizabeth, you're welcome. My body, my choice. To that point, when I was 18, I got my first tattoo. Yeah. I was one of those kids that knew, I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo the day I turn 18. The moment I turn 18, I'm an artist. I know what I want. I got a tattoo. It never looked like what it was supposed to be. My mom saw it, started crying, classic Latina. Mom, like, por Dios, mijita, no. And she looked at my tattoo and she said, ay, Lilianita, guay. Guay, guay, guay. Guay can't you be like normal girls and get fake tits instead of tattoos? I hate that joke because my mom wrote it when I was 18, many years before I became a comic. These are my fake tits, Mom. These are my fake tits. She always gets nervous. She's like, Liliana, what are you going to do? How are you going to get a job? And I'm like, Mom, I'm going to wear an outfit. I'm like, what kind of job do you think I'm getting? That I'm like naked showing up? I'm like, I don't have to audition for those jobs. I've already got the part. I'm lucky I was born in the 70s because there's VHS. There's a lot of VHS to prove that I'm more erotic than exotic. Yeah. Titties are an interesting thing. My sister got her tits done and my mom called me up on the phone to announce it to me. And she was like, Liliana, I have the most wonderful news for you. And I was like, what, Mom? You're going to help me pay rent? She's like, don't be ridiculous. Do you want to be a lesbian actress in New York City? I was like, no, Mom, I'm bisexual. And I'm more of a triple threat. I said, what's the good news? Can you just tell me what the good news is? She's like, your sister is getting her boobs. I was like, okay, well, that's great, whatever. And she's like, ay, tan ridícula como no le importa. And I'm like, I do care. I think that's great for her, but I don't see what the big deal is. She's like, of course you don't see what the big deal is. Because your sister, she is not like you. Your sister, she needs them. I'm like, what do they come with? Like, payouts from the government and dead husband? Like, what's going to happen next? Like, my sister gets her boobs and she never needs her hands again. She's like, oh, I'll just drive the car. No problem, I'll make dinner. I just don't get it. A few years later, I found out through Facebook that my other sister got her boobs done. Like, nobody bothered to tell me. And I was like, how do they not tell me? I'm like, who's this stripper that looks like, oh, it's my sister at the beach. Looks great, that's awesome. My other sister as well. Everybody, I'm the only one that doesn't. I'm just waiting for my parents to call me one day and be like, Liliana, your brother is getting his boobs. That's when I know that my family has evolved and they're like all about equality. So I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for that day. But you know what I say? It's, their body, their chest. Do what you want. Do what you want. I went back to Florida to visit my sisters again when the little one, the baby that had been born, became about 5 years old. And children are hilarious because you can see when they understand malice or when they understand that something can be triggering or important. And she was there. She was 5, and she was just like me, curious and poking. So she comes up to me in front of the whole family. I've been there for 2 weeks. I've managed to not have an argument about politics. I've managed to not have an argument about religion. I've managed to not explode, just stay cool. And this 5-year-old little girl comes over. Aunt Lily, I want to ask you a question. I'm like, ¿qué es preciosa? ¿Qué es lo que quiere? You can ask Aunt Lily anything you want. Big mistake. The moment I said anything you want, my family was like, whoosh. Abby looks at me and she goes, Aunt Lily, I want to know. I want to know why you're not married. Malparida. I thought long and hard about my answer because I want to be a good influence on this child, So I was like, what do I tell a 5-year-old little girl that allows her to have opportunities? So I thought I came up with the perfect answer. I did. I was like, Abby, preciosa cosita linda. Aunt Lily is not married because she's a strong, independent, smart woman. And she likes to live life by her own rules. Thank you. Abby was not impressed. She was like, oh, whatever, Lily, whatever. You suck, Aunt Lily. My mom, on the other hand, was in the back of the kitchen in our house. Liliana Velásquez Montoya Jaramillo. What are you thinking? No. Es que maybe you are not thinking at all. Why? I want to know why. Do you think it's okay to tell a 5-year-old little girl that you can live life by your own rules? Hello? At that moment, I immediately went into a regression. Because when you're home, it doesn't matter how old you get, you become that child. There's just one word that does it, and boom, I was like 15 again, running away from home. Fuck you, Mom! You want me to tell her the truth? I'll tell her the fucking truth. Abby, preciosa, cosita linda, surprise! Aunt Lily is married. Aunt Lily's been married for 20 years. That's right. You know why? Because Aunt Lily got tired of people like you and them asking stupid questions. Yeah. So when Aunt Lily was 24, she went to Costa Rica with her best friend. Oh my God, we drove around naked in a pickup truck for 2 weeks. The adventure was great. We tattooed these rings on our fingers because we knew we would lose them because we weren't responsible about anything. It was amazing. What's that? Turns out Aunt Lily is more traditional Colombian than you expected. Because Aunt Lily told her husband, if he ever wants a divorce, he has to send her the finger. What's that, Abby? You want to know how Aunt Lily has a 22-year-long marriage? Let me tell you the secret. Never, and I mean never, live in the same city, country, or continent as your husband. My mother looked at me and she said, live life by your own rules is okay. True story. Thank you, Alex. I love you. I hope you never visit. Throughout the years, I kept trying to find my way. I've always been very similar to what I am now, and I didn't realize that because we keep trying to change. We keep trying to find who we are. So I left my family in Colombia, and I was like, I'm going to go to New York City. I was afraid that a mafioso man in Colombia would fall in love with me, and I wouldn't reciprocate. So I moved to New York City, where an Italian mafioso fell in love with me. I felt so much like home. All right, we just keep doing the same thing until we learn the lesson. But New York City taught me a lot of things. My parents blamed my dating life on my small chest and big attitude. I realized that I'm more like Times Square. Dating me is like Times Square at 3 a.m. It's beautiful. It's a little bit scary. And it's surrounded by homeless artists. What am I gonna do? In New York City, I met somebody that influenced my life a lot, a woman that I'm always grateful to have her had walked into my life. She was Debbie, and she was a dominant vegan. She was a dominant lifestyle woman, and she wore leather from head to toe, but she never ate meat or other animal product type things. I now know what vegans are because I live in Berlin. I don't need an explanation. But Debbie would get upset with me all the time, about my habits or my eating habits, and I would be like, Deb, I don't get it. How come you can wear leather from head to toe, but you have a problem with what I'm doing? She says, this leather was a gift. And I'm like, well, this hamburger was delivery. Deb taught me a lot. She taught me how to say no. She taught me how to stand up for myself. And she always loved cats, really, really loved cats, more than humans, by a lot. And she came to my house one day and she saw my window open. And my cat, El Gato. I know, I'm very creative with names. Cat, gato. Dog, perro. Man, perro. And Deb saw the window open, and she's looking at me, she's like, Liliana, you're a terrible cat mom. How do you leave the window open? And that's when I realized that I was going through some type of culture shock. Because I was like, in Colombia, the window is always open. The door is locked. Like animals mostly stay outside. They kind of enter the house and mom's like, pa fuera! But in bigger cities, your animals live indoors in your apartment with you. So I always leave my windows open. I like my cats like I like my men. Rescues that eat food off the floor. And so Deb saw this and she starts, Liliana, you're a terrible cat mom. And I'm like, yo, I'm no mom. I'm a cat auntie at best. All right. Like, let's not touch my pussy with that. And she's looking at the window. She says, what if one day your cat goes outside and gets hit by a car? And I was like, vegan people are morbid. It was like law of nature. Car beats cat. I don't make the rules. The game is rock, paper, scissors, car, cat. What am I gonna do? Another night we were partying, we were out, we were at the club, we were at the bar, we were doing vegan things. And we come home, it's 6 a.m. and she looks at the window open. She's like, what did I tell you about the window, Liliana? What if one day your cat goes outside and eats poison? And I was like, whoa, again, what is happening? I was like, yo, my cat is top of the food chain. When I come home from partying with you, I have to wipe my pillow clean. That's a lizard, that's a schmetterling, and that is still alive. Still alive. The last time she came over, she started again. I was like, how many times do we have to have this conversation? She's like, no, this time I'll convince you. What if one day your cat goes outside and a crazy fucking cat lady catnaps your cat? And I was like, oh, Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nuestros pecadores ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amen. Debbie, how do you think I got my cat? I'm gonna try that next with those Berlin babies on bicycles everywhere. You'll see them at the red light, like, grun, grun, grun. And the parents are nowhere to be seen. I'm gonna grab that baby. I'm gonna be like, indoor, outdoor baby. I promise I will always leave the windows open. Yeah, New York was fun. But I came here on a whim. I came here because I messaged a man that I had been modeling for 8 years. I was his muse. He was German. I did not know many Germans then, so I did not know that his personality traits were very common here. He always invited me to Germany, and I always had a modeling fee, travel, all this stuff. So when I became a comedian, I sent him an email. I said, yo, what's up, Christoph? I'm moving to Los Angeles. I'm going to be a famous comic. I'm going to live in someone's car. Because I've always liked to have drivers, so it's not going to be my own car. And I said, right now is a great time for me to visit you in Berlin, and we'll figure out if there's any work. We'll figure out what the deal is afterwards. You can fly me over. And so he responded in an email. Ja, hallo Liliana. I am hiking in Nepal. The internet is not so good here. Can you buy your own ticket and I will reimburse you? To which the classic Latina Colombian American woman that I am responded, fuck you. If you can send this fucking email, you can buy my fucking ticket. Guess who was in Berlin 1 week later? Meeting at Tegel Airport like a romantic comedy. He's arriving from Nepal. I'm arriving from New York. We start dating for the first time after all of our friendship and years. Nobody warned me that dating a German was lonelier than being single. Now, don't get me wrong. Dating everywhere sucks. Dating in New York is like being a masochist for narcissists, okay? And dating in Colombia, you're going to lose a limb. I don't know which one. You're going to feel free, but we're always going to keep a piece of you. This man and I had a beautiful relationship, and we would have, the thing about Germans that even though he didn't know how to hold a conversation with me, he was able to find my clitoris, which is really important. But he couldn't find my soul. Like after sex, I would like to have conversations like, what are we going to do next? Where are we going to plan our future vacations? What is our life going to be like? Can you help me with my visa? One day he looked at me and he said, with all honesty, because Germans don't really know how to be sarcastic. And this is serious. He said to me, oh my God, Liliana. Ich wusste nicht, dass du so viel Aufmerksamkeit brauchst. I'll translate for those of you who don't speak German. He said, oh my God, Liliana, I did not know you needed so much attention. I don't feel like when you look at me, it's fine print at the bottom of a contract. I am like a neon blinking sign in a beautiful cursive with sharp edges that says, Achtung, baby, Achtung, baby, Achtung, baby. Like, come on, you're dating a tattooed covered Latina dominatrix tango dancer that does stand-up comedy in 3 languages. How did I mislead you? Another time, he looked at me and he said, oh, that's the kind of woman that one marries. To which I said, you met my husband when we went to Colombia. He was your tour guide. And now I am no longer the kind of woman you get to fuck. He's dead now. It's all right, I didn't kill him. He died on his own, the way he liked to live, alone. I know, but he taught me a lesson about being alone. He taught me how to enjoy it. He taught me so many things, and I'm so grateful to that man. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Christoph, for everything. I'm grateful because he died after we broke up. Yes, because if he had died while we were dating, the police would have found him, and the newspaper would have read, Austrian man found in the Berg with 737 messages from angry Latina partner in Berlin. The messages read, I will find you, motherfucker. I know that mountain. You took me there once. I know where you are. You better come home soon. What the fuck are you still doing on the mountain? I'm going to shave my head if you don't come home. I'm shaving my head. Don't bother coming home. I turned the apartment into a VG. I don't need you. So thank you. I've been single often and I've had great loves. After dating Christoph, I met another man, and he was very special. He still is very special to me. I was walking down the street. Now, I and many Latinas, we smile often. But we're not smiling at you. We're smiling because we're winning an argument in our head. We're like, my smile has nothing to do with you. So I'm smiling down the street. I'm a little bit drunk, and some guy starts following me. Now, I'm still very Medellin, New York City. You follow me. I start parkouring through the streets. I'm like, oh, yeah, follow this, bitch. And the guy did. He followed me for like 4 blocks. And I was like, whoa, this could be romantic. I sense the possibilities of commitment. So I wait under a stoplight because I know people like to watch. And he comes up to me and he says, what's your name? And out of nowhere, without thinking, because sometimes I don't think, I just react. And I was like, I'm every crazy bitch. I'm your mother crazy. I'm your grandmother crazy. I'm all your ex-girlfriend crazy. That's me. That's my name. Crazy bitch. And the guy left. And I was so confused. I was like, where are you going? I thought we had something. And then I got nervous because then my adrenaline dropped. And then I realized that I was in Kreuzberg and I was lost. I was like maybe 1 block away from my apartment or 15. Do you know what I mean? Because Berlin streets are like, they're like jazz hands. You're like, oh my God, how did I end up in Prince Lauerberg? Or like, why am I at Gulitzer Park again? I don't want to go through the park. It's nighttime. Why? So I got nervous and I was drunk and I had that interaction with that man, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw the beautiful aura of a human being. So I ran up to this man and I was like, I'm lost. Some guy was following me. Can you please make pretend you know me? And he looked at me. He said, I'm black. And I looked at him. I said, I'm crazy, not blind. And that began a beautiful relationship for 5 years. Yeah. Because he's also from Nueva Jersey. But again, I found out, with time, I was like, I need to be single. I need to regain my power. I need to find out what I want. Like, I don't want to break this person's heart, but I also just want to break up with them. And I did. I broke up with them, then I fucked them again. And at one point, I was like, damn it, maybe I should go to therapy so I can do this correctly. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just fuck his friend. So I did. He got really upset about it because I'm a comic dominatrix, so I'm not very shameful. And he asked me, he said, why? Why do you make a joke about this? And I said, why did you date me? Also, you're lucky it's 44-year-old me that broke up with you, not 22-year-old me. Because 22-year-old me would have fucked your friend, your cousin, your brother, fingered your sister, made sure your mom watched. And I definitely would have fucked your dad. And he's like, my dad's dead. I said, I'm sorry. I told you I was kinky. You should have listened. So I'm single again. Single again. And I love it. Except that I hate online dating. I hate it. I detest it. First of all, as a sex worker, I am disappointed because it's like giving it away for free. There's so much work you have to do. And never see the motherfucker. I spent 3 hours on a fucking email with you and you're not never ever gonna show up? No. I don't want to swipe a face. I hate swiping faces. I want to squat, hold, 2, 3, 4. Wait till they tap out. Check their pulse. Repeat. If you're doing it right, it's like you're doing laundry. Everything gets wet. Yeah. And I like, what I do like about Berlin, there's been a few things in Berlin that give me culture shock. One, it's how you run your restaurants. Sometimes. I go to places and it's like, wir sind Urlaub. And I'm like, for a whole month? And nobody's gonna run the business for you? How do you pay rent? What's happening? I don't understand. Where's your cousins, your uncles? Where's the family? Or I'll go places and they're empty. It's an empty restaurant. And I'll sit at the window thinking that's a great place for me to sit because one, I'm beautiful. And I think, like we say in Colombia, tengo buena espalda, which means when I walk into a place, more people walk in, So I sit at the window like, And I hear, das ist reserviert. And I'm like, how is that possible? Also, how long do you think I'm going to be here for? Then they take me and they sit me by the kitchen door, and they throw a menu at me, and I'm like, this has to be racism. It has to be. I don't understand who would do that. And then the menu is in German, and like when I first got here to Germany, I didn't know much German. I love learning your language. I'm having so much fun learning German. It's one of my goals to do this whole entire hour in German. And the person throws a menu at me in German, and I'm like, Kartoffel. Kartoffel. Cartel! No. Wrong country. So then the waiter or waitress, I don't know, man, they were fluid. They looked like they just got back from Bergheim, and they were still on ecstasy. They were like, and they lean in, and they look at me, and they go, a line? A line? That's rude. That's rude in any language. I came here to eat. I will do a line for dessert. Digestive. That was the first time I heard the word align. I was like, all one, align. I like it. I could do it. Align. Then the other things that is a positive culture shock that I've had here is gender. I've always been very much a female representing, like I said earlier, hoo-ha bitch. But I've always been open and queer and very inclusive, and Berlin is that. But Berlin reminded me how much we are programmed in our brains not to think that way. Because when you were born into a Colombian family, or many Latino families, the doctor says, it's a girl, poof, poof, earrings. We need no one to confuse her for a boy at day 2 and put this baby in a bikini in a photo shoot, stat. If it's a boy, the doctor's like, it's a boy. You can never do anything wrong in the world. Everything you say will be praised, no matter how stupid it is. You are baby Jesus, the last Coca-Cola of the desert. If you're born in Germany, the doctor says, das ist ein Baby. We need universal health care and a bicycle, stat. And I love that. I love that. It is. I mean, it's so crazy to me how much in our culture wearing earrings is important as a female. When I go home and I don't have earrings on, my mom's like, ay, mijita, do you have a fever? Are you okay? What is wrong? What is wrong? If my grandmother's home and I walk into the hallway without earrings, she's like, who is this boy? Abuelita, I'm here. No, there's a boy. No, it's me, grandma. No, yes, no, yes. My aunt always says, first my earrings, then my panties. And she's not joking. She's like, if I'm in a fire, first my earrings, then my panties. I grew up with that. I don't know what to do about it. But I carry extra earrings just in case I run into my mom. Yeah. I did try online dating. I did try it. It was interesting. There was a man that messaged me. He said, hey. Then I got another message from someone else, and he said, I think we have a lot in common due to our pictures on the profile, and I was wondering if I could take you out for a walk. A walk? So I was curious. I was like, to where? He said, I just want to take you to a park. A park? That's how we get murdered. Like, I don't know about you, but I do not want to turn up on the cover of a newspaper, found dead Colombian-American comedian in Berlin, walking through a park with 2 sets of footprints. I'm white enough to be on the newspaper. Oh, man. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to walk in the park. I want to go to a fancy restaurant where I will walk all over you. Yes. My other friends were like, why don't you try someone younger? Try dating someone younger. Maybe that's what you need. You need a younger man. And I was like, you really think so? I've been dating in my 40s since I was in my 20s. How am I going to change now? But I tried it. He was handsome. Bonus. But then he spoke. And it was like, he actually said to me, with all seriousness, I'm sure, because I don't think you can say it any other way. He said, I just want to let you know I'm an alpha male. And I was like, oh my God, you're an alpha chihuahua. I'm going to start a business where I walk alpha males on a leash. Like, they all said they were alpha males. God. Another time I went on a date and we're sitting there and the guy looks at me and he says, hey, I know you're a feminist and I don't want to offend you. I was like, where could this be going? Oh my God. Why is he speaking? And I said, what is it? And he's like, I would really like to pay the bill. And I was like, how cute. You don't realize I was born in 1977? You will always pay the bill. When you're good to mama. The pandemic made me realize that I needed to hustle differently. I needed to come up with a form of income during a time when being a performer on stage was not possible. This is my full-time life. And I had to decide, like, how do I make money during the pandemic? And so I certified myself as a doula, which is a reproductive justice advocate. I specialize in a 3-month program. Abortion rights, people, abortion rights. And I am a dominatrix from New York City, and I'm a comedian. So I thought, dominatrix, comedian, doula. I'm good with children. No, I'm great with children and drunks, so. And so I rebranded myself as the Dominanny. There for the whole family. I'm bringing sexy back to mommy. I'm making daddy do the dishes. And nothing says Sally's well behaved like suspension bondage in a corner. Have you ever put a baby in latex? Oh, it's the cutest thing. Boing. Latex is biodegradable. If they get dirty, you just hose them off. Shh. They're always slippery, so, you know, a little bit more doesn't matter. Oh, wow. And, you know, with me, you get a bargain. You get a chupo or a butt plug. You decide, right? So I had a German family hire me, and I went to see them, and it was exciting. You know, I was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm Liliana Velásquez. Yes, I'm here for your baby. Blah, 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 blah. So can I meet the baby? And they're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And they take me to the baby, and I was like, oh my God, this baby is beautiful. What's the baby's name? They're like, Torsten! Like, who names the baby Torsten? I was like, ay, Torstoncito, we're gonna have to work on that. I don't know. But I would take Torsten everywhere with me. I would put him in the stroller. And it always surprises me how many people run up to a stroller and are like, ah, a baby. And I'm like, what did you expect? Like, I don't know what you're thinking. And then they start, oh my God, das Baby ist so süß. Das Baby hat blaue Augen. Das Baby hat blonde Haare. And then they look at me and they're like, what happened? And I get offended because as a Latina woman in my DNA, I can make a baby any color, any style. I just need one ingredient, and that's what I decide. Yeah, so I get offended. So I look at these women, I'm like, ja, genau. Das ist Baby Pedro. You know, and I love what it's brought to me. I love that the doula studies, the comedy, it all has actually really connected. Within the doula studies, I found a lot of crossover with domination and creating a safe space for the laboring parent, for the most vulnerable of the group. I found connections that reminded me that no matter how often in my life I try to change my alignment and change my path, I am who I am 100%, and that's never going to change. My soul is connected to me, and I'm proud of my weirdness. I am proud of how much I stand out and how much I don't stand out, the moments that I need help, the moments that I don't. But more importantly, I've found myself again, and I am aligned. I am aligned to my path, and I'm so grateful to it. And now what I'm looking for is destiny to grab me by the hair and pull me to the ground safe, sane, and consensually. Destiny is a real person. She's a black goddess that I used to work with. She had tits bigger than my head and nails so long they said I never wipe my own asshole. Destiny is going to take me into a dungeon room and strap me to a bed where she's going to spread my arms apart and start dragging those nails across my chest as I realize, oh my God, no matter how old I get, I'm still very flexible. And she's going to start eating me out. And as I look at her and I say, Destiny, please, let me please you. Destiny's going to look at me and say, no. Liliana, Alicia, Jenny, Tango. Because she knows all my fake names. You are a princess. Mama? Thank you all so much. I'm Liliana Velásquez. I want to give a great big thank you to waveDOTS Studios for live streaming us tonight. To the Wall Comedy Club, I love this venue, it's my home. To PAF Performing Arts Festival for including me in their festival, I'm so proud to be a part of it. And to all of you for being here with me, thank you.